Hello to you aspiring bodybuilders and potential fans, or just guys that are interested in what I'm doing. I am now 48 hours out from the Masters Olympia, the final destination in Tokyo, and what better place to finish off the 19-year journey. And I believe this is the 76th, maybe 77th show. It was gonna be 78, but we're out to pull out of Amsterdam due to medical reasons, and Chicago, because of that, was still very much a blowout. I'm going to take you through the last 48 hours. I've already done a peak week video that's on YouTube now. Just remembering that YouTube is filmed in landscape. So we are going to go through the last 48 hours of this prep, starting with a weigh-in and check-in posing now. I've been for a little bike ride. Tokyo is a crimeless place, minus me. I did borrow a bike for half an hour this morning. I went for a little bike ride, and I've just had a nice hot bath. There's going to be quite a few things going on today, including haircut, beard trim. This is now the second day of carbon up, so we'll see what my weight is. I landed at 103 kilos. I had a couple of carb meals Tuesday night. I woke up lighter at 101.5, and 100.5. And we're going to now see what I am this morning. We're going to do a video check-in. I say I'm going to shave today. I'm still going to do some bits in Tokyo today. We're actually going to one of the tallest building to see the city from up top. So I'll put a little clip of that in there. I'm also going to a sumo event at 3 p.m. There's plenty of time, obviously. We're going to train our last session today as well. And then just pump the carbs around and see how we're looking. So let's get on with the weight. Bang on 100 kilos. So I've got plenty of room to fill out. The weight limit is 103. So even with plenty of water in me and carbs in me, I'm not going to be pushing that. So that's not a problem. So meal one is going to be egg whites, couple of eggs and rice. I've been finding that oats have been bloating me, so we're off that for today. Also keeping hydration topped up with Legal Nutrition Hydro. About 3/4 scoop of that. Glutamine, 5 milligrams each meal. Berberine, 1500 milligrams. And alpha lipoic acid. Just to aid digestion. Something's been a bit, well, it's not been perfect ever since the Amsterdam show, but I tend to use these anyway to aid digestion and aid blood sugar management. I was using metformin, but I've took that out. I'm just using the berberine, which does seem to have good as an effect. We're going to be getting a shave soon and going for a beard trim, and then we're going to go for a final pump workout. I'm probably going to eat this meal now, meal 3, and then maybe meal 4, possibly meal 5. I might leave the pump up right till the end, get as much carbs in me as I can before I pump up and see where we are before we decide how many more carbs to go in. I've put an extra 250 in, so we were at about 700 yesterday, so we're at about 950 today. So I'm trying to spread them out, and it's mostly going to be rice because that seems to have been digested best. Rice and cream of rice with a few Rice Krispie bars to help aid getting them down, because they're very easy to eat, but I do find them a bit sickly after a while. So until the next meal, see you then. Welcome to the joys of professional bodybuilding, or competitive bodybuilding should I say, because even the average have to do this. We've got Tom here. Stephen thinks he's drawn the short straw because he's shaving me. What he doesn't realise is he's putting oil on me later. No, he isn't really. But no, obviously I can't see my back, so I managed to do my legs, my front. Tom's just finishing off my back. I'll probably just go over in the neck, and then I'm just going to go for a haircut. But this is the glamour behind it all. So I always shave about 40 hours before the stage to avoid fluid retention under the skin. It's Thursday night now, so it is literally bang on 40 hours before I get on stage. So I'll see you in the hair salon, a bit more glamour in now. Just telling Tom about my laser hair removal that I had on my back. 2016, I remember doing a couple of shows, and I'd won the overall in Sapri, and 3 days later I was hairy, massively, and fat, but that was just because I was eating a lot. I think I put 45 pounds on in 3 days, and that was just me being greedy. But the lads still looked really good, and the hair removal was. So we looked at getting waxed, but just with the years of putting it and the testosterone, it's just so thick. Even the woman said it's like shaving, waxing someone's face. So it was horrific. So I looked into hair removal, laser hair removal, which is meant to be more painful, but it wasn't. It was actually quite alright. But I had 6 sessions on my back. It thinned out quite nice, and then we went to Mexico for our honeymoon and our blessing. And so you can't have it for so long before going abroad, because it damages your skin, and you can't have it for so long after, I think. So anyway, I went back 6 months after, and I showed the woman a picture of my hair, and she said, "Oh God, it was bad, wasn't it?" I said, "No, that's now after 6 sessions." And she was like, "Yeah, I don't think this is going to work for you, because obviously you keep taking testosterone, you keep getting hairy." So laser therapy just doesn't work because it grows back, and waxing, it was just horrifically painful because my hair is so thick. It's alright if you're fair, it's quite easy, but when you've got like beard hair all over you, it's not fun. So that's why we're still shaving 17 years into competing, and we have to have someone to do it for us, which is unfortunate. Tom just mentioned to me about filling up, carving up, because we're carving up now, and he said it's hard to, because I had a bad stomach, keeping the food in, but I had a really bad wind this morning after getting a lot of carbs in yesterday. It's been better today, so my stomach has settled down, but as long as I can get full today, this is my last session, so I like to do a bit of a pump session today, push them carbs into the muscle bellies, and then tomorrow we'll just rest. There's a possibility I might just go for a 20-minute pump up at a local gym just to see if it's going where I want it to go, and it's filling up nicely, and just aid. I just feel like training aids that pump and fullness, pushes the glycogen into the muscles, gets the blood flowing around. Also, I think probably aids digestion. I've been trying to do a little bit of walking in between meals today just to keep me moving. I feel like that improves digestion as well. But it might just be a case of on the day, if my stomach is still playing ball, so a lot of wind, at least I'm not going to the toilet, so I'm actually holding the food in, it's just gassy. So it might just be a case of on the day, not eating for maybe 4 to 5 hours before the stage. And as long as I'm sitting around relaxed, if I'm full, what's the time to say, 10 o'clock the show starts, so if I'm 1 o'clock on stage roughly, so I'll probably eat before my tan at 9 a.m. and get a good meal in there about 8:30, and then possibly just have some sweets or something that gives me a bit of sugar backstage, but nothing that I've got to really digest, and then I can keep my stomach as flat as possible and the fullness will already be there. So that's how I'm going to handle the carb up. I don't see the point in eating bloody dry rice cakes with peanut butter on backstage. The peanut butter is just slowing down the absorption of the carbs anyway, and dry rice cakes are just so hard to digest. You don't drink any water, so it's just going to set your stomach. So I've got no idea why people do that sort of shit. You know, your carb up needs to be done in the 72 hours prior to the stage, not in the 7 minutes before you get on stage. I remember hearing that to take fucking what do they call it? The fucking caramel rice
crispy bars.
Yeah, I had to take them off him. No, the rice cakes.
Oh yeah, like salted caramel ones.
Salted caramel ones, yeah. And I was like, mate, you can have as many as you want in 20 minutes. Get off stage. Get on that fucking stage.
Yeah, once you're done, you can eat what you want.
Eat what you want in 20 minutes. It's like literally, I had to pull him off him as they were lining up backstage. But I had managed to keep most of them off him. I think it was just a case of him just putting something in his mouth, because that's the other thing about don't go on too dehydrated. You're going to need to be dehydrated in terms of over the last 12 to 14 hours you're going to restrict your water, maybe over the last 24 depending on how you do it. But I will always have a 250 ml or something water prior to an on stage, so your mouth's...
Yeah, so you've not got a dry mouth.
I've got a dry mouth and you can pose, because I remember like at the Masters Olympia last time, I was struggling to pose on the balcony and I was like, wow. But I was
that dry.
I was that dry, but you're not going to all of a sudden drink a bit of water and it goes everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just putting it in the system.
Yeah.
So you can pose, you can get on stage. It's hot than them lights, so you're going to be sweating anyway.
Yeah, it's going to be hot here as well, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah. It's hot anywhere because of the stage lighting, but it's just, you're not even going to be able to escape it here. It's not like you can go outside.
30 odd degrees regardless, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, get some water in before you go on stage. You should be dry by that point. The opposite to the carbs. So, you know, if you're trying to carb up backstage, then it's too late. If you're trying to dry out in the last 10 minutes before you get on stage, it's too late. So all the long-term or medium-term work needs to be done over the last 72 to 12 hours, and then I would definitely not be eating too much backstage at all, if anything, or just sweet, sugary stuff, just to give you a little bit of energy. Especially, I'll just make sure my blood sugar levels are a little bit higher. So probably minimum of 6 to somewhere even as high as 8, just in case the posing goes on longer. The last thing I want to be able to do is fucking
drop
on stage. It's not happened yet, touch wood, but you know, things have happened this year.
Yeah, it's a bit unpredictable, isn't it?
So, but having a mouthful of water definitely helps you. You're not going to spill over in the next 10 minutes. Well, that was difficult. I went to about 6 different hairdressers. Not one of them touched my beard. Hair's obviously okay. One guy actually would do it, but he was booked up like for the entire week, which I'm not surprised about because no one else seems to do anything. It all just seems to be nice hairdressers do hair. Eventually I convinced the guy just to use the clippers, because I saw he had clippers to do your hair here, so I said just shave it here. So I've shaved it with the clippers in the barbers, and I've just shaved under my beard. So it's not my usual cut, but we'll freshen it up again on Saturday morning, and we'll make it work. I'm sure it won't lose me a place. It better not do. So we're on the way to the gym for the final session, me and Tom. Mostly going to be back because that's the way the workouts have fallen, but we are going to do a little bit of a pump up for a full upper body. Just had about 100 grams of chicken and about 180 grams of pasta. I'll get away with one pasta meal. It definitely seems to have sat nicely. It seems to be more than anything, I think, pre-workout possibly, or even maybe possibly the cleanse that was still on that upset my stomach. One or both, or a combination of that. It definitely seems to be better, or it might have just been the fact that I've eaten more food than my body's been used to, but my stomach definitely feels a lot easier than it did yesterday, and I've had more food. So we'll see where my weight is tonight. whatever it is tonight, still don't think it's going to be over the limit, but it'll come down 1.5 kilos ish overnight, and then we've got until 5 o'clock tomorrow to carb up, and it might be approaching the limit by then, but we'll see. Here's the wall we saw yesterday. It's filled up a little bit, and look who's there. Infamous in time in Tokyo. What else have we got? Classic physique. There he is, the 2016 Arnold Classic 212 champion and the 2023 Mr. Olympia Masters. Also one of the organisers for this year's event, Ayedi Yamagishi. And then we have over there the Masters Olympia Tokyo, Japan 2025. So we'll be getting one of those probably tomorrow at registration. So a couple more. Nice angle, it pulls down. Good. Chest up, put them elbows in. Come on. 2 days out from watching me. Let's go. That'll do. Train with the champ, you gotta train like the champ. Let's go. Really nice, good actual angle, this one. I like.
Yeah.
So this was deceiving me heavy. I said to Tom, I'll always start 2 plates. When to move it, I was like, wow, really heavy. Some of these machines, I will say, are a bit heavy at the end range, which is not really ideal. That's where the prime stuff is good, because it loads up the top and back off towards the end. But it is a nice machine. So I've just finished our workout, meal 6. 150 grams of cream of rice. I've got some 20 grams of almond nut butter in there, scoop of protein, 20 grams of jam, and 1 slice of dark chocolate. It's starting to fill up now nicely. So I made that in the pan, boiled the water, added the rice, cream of rice, mixed it all up, almond nut butter, jam, 1 cube of dark chocolate, let it cool, added away, put it in the freezer. So this will be the final part of the 48 hours. When I wake up, will be on the day before the show, so we'll call that 24 hours out. I got a little bit excited with this meal. I've already eaten it, but it was 400 grams of cooked rice and about 100 grams of cooked chicken. Last before bed, serving of Peak Max, 4 capsules there. Still drinking water throughout the day. So I get another serving of glutamine, about half a scoop of hydro, another half a litre before I'm in bed. That's taking me up to 7.5 litres today. So it's 11 PM now. I'm going to hit the sack, and then we'll see you in the morning for a check-in. One day.